Alright, we're looking at the new Halloween update today, and there goes the Ghost Fury. That's pretty awesome. This is Bad Raccoon Gaming channel, and we're going to check some stuff out today. You see I got my Corona upgrading, swapped up my Loki Fit. Swapped up my Loki Fit for the Yandi Coronas, or whatever you call it. It's not too bad. Still a little weak because I got to work on it. But, you know, the Loki really doesn't shine till level 10 and such. Then it really gets bad. It's not as fast as some robots, but still pretty good. Now, I'm not a big fan of these new freeze weapons. I see them probably being nerfed relatively quickly in the future. Not only do they freeze your opponent, but they make the armor more fragile and take more damage. I haven't seen the full stats on it, but what I've looked at in the test servers, I see them being nerfed pretty quickly. I just don't think, I think it's a little overpowered considering their damage and their abilities. So, I mean, you get two abilities in one weapon system and it does a lot of damage. You're guaranteed that's going to get a nerf. Just like the Ares, just like any OP thing that comes along, it's going to get nerfed. Unless you're just spending tons of money on this game, and like I said, I'm going to speak for the little guy. I'm not going to, advocate spending, like one guy said they spent like $1 million in this game. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'd spend little 99-cent deals here and there, but generally I work and upgrade my stuff like the majority of the players do. And I'm not going to shield for Pixonic. I think they're a good game company. I like the fact they update their games and they produce a high quality game. But I'm not going to shield for them and praise everything they do like Adrian and some other people who make videos for War Robots. And just the way it is, I don't believe in doing that. I do believe this is an overpowered weapon. We're going to have to see it in action, but, on the live server, I have to look at the numbers for it. But from what I've seen on the test server, it's just going to be problematic for starters. The Shield Breaker module, same issue. This is going to be the death blow to the Ares. That's all there is to it. The Ares is already having issues. I know people that spent enormous amounts of money to, rack up their hangars, and now those Ares are going to be, there's already a lot of counters to Ares, and this is basically going to kill the Ares outright. Greek bots, I predict that Greek bots will drop completely out of the meta with this update. That's just me. And my main bot, this lovely little bugger right here, is going to have some issues with the Shield Breaker. Thankfully, the armor is his big ability, so I'm not too worried about the Shield Breaker. It's not like the Fenrir has a massive shield anyway. I prefer to have the shield, but it's usually a secondary little tool, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not too worried about that. I just don't see them being, I see other bots like the Hitachi still retaining its presence. It's going to be mainly the Ares bots. They're already used to people penetrating their shields anyway with energy weapons. People who run Hitachi and other standard shield bots. I see the Ares pilots being the ones that are hurt the most, and all that going to waste concerning them. The only thing that could possibly save them was the speed that's supposed to be coming up, but even the Shield Breaker, I don't even see that working. I'm definitely going to be running Shield Breaker on my Raven over here. This is definitely going to have a Shield Breaker on it. I might trade out the Death Mask for the Shield Breaker. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and see if it's... Speaking of all that, let's go ahead and see if it's here. Phase shift. It is not here yet. Most of this stuff doesn't appear to have gone live. I looked for weapons a minute ago. I haven't seen them. So, maybe we'll get to see them sometime soon. But I'm probably definitely more than likely going to run a Shield Breaker on this Raven. No doubt about it. The freeze weapons I see being the main problem for the Fenrir, and especially my Rajan over here. But of course, with the Rajan, the rockets and missiles are already a problem for the Rajan due to the splash damage. Splash damage weapons in general are bad for it because that primary front shield really doesn't give you much protection against it. So I'm not too worried about the splash damage and the weakening armor and the freeze. on my Rajan, because the Rajan is already pretty much an immobile robot, so I'm not worried about being freezing in place, and I've already deal with that with lockdown weapons. Not much of an issue. Splash damage, already used to dealing with that, and the only thing that really bothers me out of it is the weakening armor, which could affect the Rajan's primary shield. But, I can kind of fix some of that with Fortifier, so I'm not too worried about it. The Fenrir is going to be the main problem there. It's a big resistance tanker, and, I see the freeze rockets causing an issue with that, and with the Loki as well. Not the Loki, but the Tyr as well. Well, let's see if my prediction comes true. The Ares will basically be pushed entirely out of the meta with this, and that's pretty much it for now. Y'all be safe. Take care.